Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program with Lone Debater 7, and today we're going to be talking about how to set up the yellow matrices or the structure matrices on their production chain. So pretty straightforward, all things considered. Last time we went and gathered the titanium we needed, and I brought it back a couple times and just fill in an inventory box, but we'll show that in a minute. The first piece of the yellow matrices are diamonds. You make diamonds in a smelter by burning energetic graphite, so pretty easy. I set up 4 of them. This is never, like this one almost never has to output, basically, so it's enough. On the other item for this is a titanium crystal, which requires 3 titanium and 1 organic crystal. So the titanium we don't have on this planet, so we set up that titanium smelter last time and we come and drop it off in this box. So we put in our 3000, it goes through, and these assemblers here, we've got 6 of them making these crystals. They take an organic crystal and 3 of these titaniums to build one. So let's take a look and show off how to make the organic crystals. The first thing you're going to want to do is get some oil set up. So I happen to have 2 oil seeps pretty close by, so I put them both into this bin. And then I built 6 oil refineries, all set to the basic recipe, turning crude oil into refined oil and hydrogen. Basically, you're just storing the hydrogen. You could implement it into the red matrix production line if you want. For now, I'm saving this because ultimately I'm probably going to use this to make deuterium. And then you take your light oil. I have a buffer right here, so these are always producing. And out of this light oil tank, you're going to want to take 2 lines and bring them over to where you're going to assemble your organic crystals. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up some factories to make plastic. And they're not factories, they're chemical plants. So it takes 1 energetic graphite and 2 refined oil in order to make 1 plastic. So for each organic crystal, you need 2 plastic, a light oil, and some water. So really, you want to have twice as many refinery or chemical plants making plastic as you have chemical plants making the organic crystals. So once you get plastic set up, you're going to want to bring it over and you're going to set up your next set of chemical plants. So since I've got 4 of these, right, realistically, I kind of need 2 more. So I should be have 6 of these chemical plants in operation. So I'd need 6 for these crystals and 12 for the plastic in order to satisfy that production. Not a big deal though, this works out pretty well. Not a problem. So that's 1 ingredient, the light oil. Second ingredient is water, so you build a water pump. I build a tank just to store some and put water. And then in addition to that, you also need plastic. So you bring your plastic, your second light oil line, and your water by your organic crystal chem plants, set that up, cool. So now you've got the 2 base materials you need in order to make these titanium crystals. So take your organic crystals around, put a box for your titanium until you have, and you know, unless you happen to have titanium where you're going to be using your science packs. I feed the titanium on 1 belt around, and then I feed the organic crystals around. You take just basic assemblers, set it to make titanium crystals, and basically the way this part works is, you know, it's going to take 1 crystal and 3 titanium to make each one of these titanium ones. Then with that, I just bring this back over to where I have my diamonds and my labs over here making the yellows, and set it up with these advanced sorters just to make it easy. On the output end, or well, let's talk about why I have 6 of them here. So the reason why I have 6, you make 7.5 per minute at max production. These make 10 per minute at max production, and these make 20 a minute at max production. So this is making us about 15 per minute between all 6 of these. So not awful when they're running full kill. Right now we're buffered up, but that's fine. So this is 15, this is 20, this is 20. It's okay. Eventually I'll probably expand all of my matrix productions just because the researches get more expensive. But what I do is run a belt right here, so I can easily add in another 3 yellows right here, have it go this way, and it'd be fine. They go into a box. I have it buffer up 1,000 of them, just so, you know, this is going to keep running until we have 1,000 extra cubes, plus the belt leading into our lab. which I just used an elevated belt to get over all the rest of our stuff to put it in here. That's just my logistics planning. If you have this somewhere that's not surrounded by a bunch of other madness, it might be a little bit easier. But there we go. So we've got 3 inputs into the main lab for our yellows, our reds, and our blues. That way all 3 labs will always be full, assuming there's, the matrices to fill it. But that's basically how you set up yellow matrices. Right now I'm doing the research required to get fusion power set up. So if you go in your power, I've already done the research. So mini fusion power station is what the power plant is called. They're pretty expensive to build, all things considered. Basically, I can't build any of the components for this power plant until I do more research. So the first item there is like a refined titanium or something like that. So we need 12 of those. I'm doing the research to unlock those now. We also need 10 super magnetic field generators or something, which I think is... So if we look up here, I have to do this one in order to do the super magnetic field generator. So we've got that. And then the last ingredient is this graphene mesh type thing. So I need superior mesh, which is this one. So once the first 4 researches in our queue complete, we will be able to set up fusion power, and we can get away from using these thermal stations. The thermal stations are great, but it does require you to have coal on site, which can be a pain sometimes. You might go to a planet that doesn't have a lot of coal or enough coal to power everything you're going to set up there. So fusion might provide a better alternative. As I understand it, the way fusion power works is you build these guys right here, deuterium or deuteron fuel rods. So each one of these takes a refined titanium, 10 deuterium, and 1 supermagnetic thing. The deuterium is made by putting hydrogen through one of these guys, a fractionator, and there will be a recipe right here, deuterium fractionation. It'll turn your hydrogen into deuterium so you can make these. I haven't set that part up yet. I'm going to wait until all the rest of these research is finished before we make the episode showing how to set up, fusion power, because I do believe fusion power is going to be the way to go. I've seen some other people playing the game that go with like a massive solar band around the planet to generate their power. I don't think that's very efficient, honestly. Like, each solar panel, if you look at it, only does 360 kilowatts, whereas a thermal is 2.16 megawatts, so it already does more going straight to thermal from solar. And the mini fusion does 9 megawatts. So you would need, how many is that? 10, almost 30 solar panels to equal 1 of these power stations. So I think just as far as space is concerned and everything, it's worth getting the fusion power set up. Granted, you need a lot of production, buildings, and resources and stuff like that, and research in order to make fusion power viable. But I think at this point in the game, the next matrice that we can unlock is... So there's a gravity matrix, which is here, an information matrix, which is here. So I think the closest one is information matrix, because once we do high strength material, we just have to do particle control technology, and then we'll be able to unlock the purples. After that, to get to the gravity matrix, we gotta finish out the magnetic line and particle line right here. And then we also need to finish out all of this part too in order to unlock this. So basically, we won't get gravity matrix until we've basically researched everything else on the lower part of the tree. After that, you've got your upper part of the tree, which is more about the logistics and actually building the Dyson Sphere. So this one actually looks kind of cool. Planetary ionosphere utilization. Ray receiver to consume graviton. I don't know what that does. Whatever. But I do want to get interstellar logistics system, because then I can have my titanium transported from our titanium smeltery straight to my factory that uses it, and it's a lot easier. Granted, you need a lot of advanced materials in order to make these viable, but whatever. It's fine. That's kind of what I'm aiming for after we get fusion power up. Is I'm going to try to beeline for interstellar logistics system. That way we're ready and we can bring, you know, power from, or bring titanium and stuff like that over to our factory on our main planet. After that, once you start going down through this way, you need to do all this research basically to get the Dyson Sphere unlocked. You get a universe matrix. You have to combine all the other matrix types, plus it looks like strange matter maybe is what I'm guessing that is. I don't actually know though. Let me look. No idea. No idea what that is. So whatever. But once you get that, mission complete, you gotta have 4,000 of the universe matrices, so you have to have 4,000 of all the other matrix types, plus 4,000 of whatever the little minus with the plus around it is. It's probably antimatter or something weird like that. But there you go. Outside of that, I think this is gonna be to start building your Dyson Sphere. So we're kind of progressing decently. Like, I'd say we're in the mid-game at this point. But there's a lot of interesting stuff. On the upgrade tree, I went ahead and queued up vertical and construction and vein utilization. This one will allow us to stack more matrix slabs on top of each other, which would be useful. And then this one improves our miner efficiency. As far as the other upgrades go, I can't do Universe Exploration 3, unfortunately, because I don't have the purple cubes yet. But I could do Mecha Core 3, Inventory 3, and once I get Mecha Core, I can do all these other mech upgrades to level 3, because I've got the yellow cubes now. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update and show off how to build the structural matricy production line, so you can advance your research and start doing, you know, the 3 cubed or 3 matrix required researches, and unlock more stuff in the game. Been enjoying it a lot thus far. We're probably going to have to fly back and pick up some more titanium soon. Yeah, we only have 77 left, so I could gear up and try to prepare to fly back over to... it's not that one, it's the other planet, but whatever. We'll do that off camera probably, because it's not super interesting to watch me fly back and forth because nothing happens for a couple minutes. But anyway, guys, that is how you set up your yellow matrices production and how you feed it into your lab. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.